Love.
Emily McCoole.
Nate Overby. Uh-oh.
Welcome to Dashcast.
Thank you so much. I've been waiting weeks.
I know. Number 5.
5 whole episodes.
So I want to begin by asking you where you're from.
Yeah, I come from a pretty weird part of LaPorte, but in the woods.
What are the most unique parts about growing up where you did?
I was splitting wood and picking up sticks and building things and using Dad's toys.
Yeah, so your dad was a big influence.
Oh, he was a huge influence. Both of my parents were. I don't want to say I'm half and half because I've completely become my own entity. I love thinking about them, honestly.
I do too.
Yeah, they're great people. Kind of had no neighbors there for a while. Always dreamed of like being in a subdivision, having sidewalks. Yeah. I was always so jealous about kids having like sidewalks and like being able to walk to their friend's house.
So where you didn't have sidewalks, what took place of that?
Men with goats on the road. I felt safe, but like I always knew that there was some weird shit going around in any direction pretty much, which was great. Like
wide open spaces.
Yeah, I mean, even those people have shaped my existence. Like the neighbors that I did have were kind of like a huge part of me growing up. And I don't know, I got to watch them grow up, and although they weren't like kids around, like people have gotten married, people are taking over properties. Like I stay pretty in touch with what is happening at my parents' house and around those parts.
And your parents built your home? Yeah.
Full home, full family style, timber frame. Everyone's doing it. Everyone's putting in a part.
As far as the family?
As far as the family goes, like we run deep. If someone needs help, there's like 11 people.
That's amazing.
And like strong people too, like not people who, I'm not saying that the supervisor is not critical, but we have to have those. Yeah. But everyone pulls their weight, and it's taught me a lot about teamwork, just watching them. They definitely set an example. Yeah. Our form of payment in our family is beer. That's about it. Life. You can get anything done as long as you bring some beer. And I know for a fact it will be done.
That's special to have a family that's so closely connected like that.
So close. And they've got like things that they do, like special things. But it all comes together into this masterpiece of just being able to get things done. Capability. Like,
yeah, it seems like they know every inch of their property and how the feng shui works.
The feng shui of
everything.
Everything, literally. It's a whole piece.
Even the neighborhood. I remember your dad would take a 4-wheeler and collect.
Swamp mint is a very sustainable way of making mojitos.
That's a big lesson from
100%. Drive the quad down to the swamp. That mint tastes good.
When did you move to Elkhart?
I went to Ball State for 2 years after high school and realized that was not the lifestyle for me. And upon coming home one summer, I met Nate, and
that's me.
Yeah, that's you. Met Nate, and he was from Elkhart. I didn't hear good things about Elkhart. I'd never been to Elkhart. And it's just so wild because like we've had really great places here. Most of my friends are from here. Like I love pretty much everything that Elkhart has had to give me. I don't really like think about Elkhart is home,
Yeah.
you know? But I get a big feeling that comes from that, you know?
Yeah.
Like all of the experience that I've had here and taking part in the community here is so strange to me because I've never really been like that involved with my hometown community.
And then getting some
weird.
of that here is kind of like joining a team.
I know. I like entered this entire community of youths. People I've never met before. Like types of people I've never met before. But if I like grew up with those types of people, I'd probably be more comfortable.
Wow.
I've had to grow into a comfort at kind of a weird age where everything seems fine and then you try to talk and be
And you
and
find yourself to be a little different.
yeah, just a little different. Not like I'm trying to be more similar, but it's just the way that people carry themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I have learned so much.
I bet. So now you're in South Bend.
Yes, we are. Well, we moved there in late July, and completely opposite of the situation I'd previously had, the one bedroom, and I was around more people. I'm seeing all of these amazing things, and I almost can't wait for summer.
Me too.
It's exciting to be able to watch the weather happen in a different way. Like you get a different experience, even like on Main Street in Elkhart versus like downtown South Bend.
Yeah.
Like it unfolds differently.
Yeah, downtown Elkhart and downtown South Bend are very different. Big, nice, broad question that I really like.
You love those.
How do your friends describe you?
I was thinking about it, and the past couple months, weeks, days, I have been doing things more for me, and
How was that unraveled?
I mean, it's gone well. I've been getting a lot of interesting feedback lately because I'm adding kind of new friends into my life and reconnecting with old ones, and they usually say the same kinds of things.
What are those? I want to hear it.
I think about it and I kind of want to cry because it's just like touching, but people view me as like a motherly figure, kind of an inspiration because I kind of push other people to do the things that they like. I'm finding more women who are interested in the things I like and want to be doing things like that.
Yeah, so creativity has become a ship for you, it seems
Definitely watching the way I used to work with people like a year plus ago versus now. Definitely a better flow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually someone who likes to work kind of alone, but finding just...
Yes, sometimes that alone time is like the learning curve, and then you're ready to collaborate. How do you describe yourself?
My perception of myself, every time I think about myself, it's a different reality and a different idea in my head. But I just like to think that I am exploring literally every possible option.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do it gracefully, and I'm trying to do it cheap, and I'm trying to do it all at once.
I love you.
That's just how my brain works, and I kind of love it that way. I'm always kind of busy.
Yeah. And what things do you keep yourself busy with? What mediums?
On the day-to-day, I'm working with lots of textiles, lots of random fabric, like Nate can vouch. I keep on running into roadblocks, and that can get me down a little bit, but I'm always like, as soon as I get hit with a roadblock, I order my parts, and I find something else to distract myself with until that part comes.
That's wise,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mostly
Keep moving.
directed at my sewing machine.
Yeah.
I got about 10 pounds of fabric for like $2 a couple days ago, and I'm just sitting there looking at it like, as soon as my needle plate gets in, man, like...
The possibilities.
I'm gonna make a jumpsuit out of orange mesh.
So you have like a fashion studio.
Pretty much taken over our bedroom. It's been really, really hard, especially for an artist like myself who likes to dabble in a lot of things, because you know that I can't fit all that stuff into a bag.
Yeah.
I can't just bring it here and there unless I had like some really optimized setup.
I see. Fingers
crossed in the future that I find a briefcase big enough for that.
So you rely on your focus area?
I mean, yes, strongly. And the more I rely on it, the bigger it gets. It's a lot different now that I've gone through so many different spots. Let me tell you, I have collected quite an assortment of objects and furniture.
Mm-hmm. You're pretty good at that.
Yeah. I love to collect things, and I don't even realize how much I have until I have to move.
Oh,
That's always the thing. Year by year, I'm like, how did I get this much stuff
in here?
How am I going to get it out? Lots of colored bulbs.
Mm-hmm.
The lighting has been a big inspiration for me lately, for sure.
Oh, yeah. What kind of lighting do you like?
Low light. Warm, cool tones don't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
I will not hang with the bright fluorescent light, though.
I see.
That's not my vibe.
She likes the den.
Literally. I want to feel like I'm in a cave.
We design spaces that kind of curate our creativity and our comfort. What have you witnessed since being a part of Daj?
I've seen some crazy things. One of my favorite parts of this is, like, shout out Garrett. Shout out Cassette. Just watching these young musicians, and he's getting ready to perform, and I was kind of new in the relationship with Nate. I wanted to be a support system. Yeah. And seeing Garrett go from like hiding in the stairway to like screaming on a stage was just pure magic. Loved seeing that. I've seen a lot of people grow into confidence and like be talking about things and then do the things and then just like being proud of themselves. Like, I will cry like when I think about those special moments where I've seen someone like complete something they've been like manifesting.
Yeah,
it's like, this is your moment, like, get it.
I like that. And it all comes from ideas that you as like an observer are able to see from the beginning all the way through.
For sure. Yeah.
Multiple
different studios. Multiple different artists.
Here we go. Dajcast.
Oh, that was so good. Woo, dang.
That is squirt.
It is squirt.
Grapefruit soda.
So many of these shows were like critical to like getting me to keep on, you know? Like we would always schedule shows in the summer to have something to look forward to.
That's good.
Yeah. I don't know, King Princess, Kali Uchis. We did manage to have the Heart City Health Festival.
Yeah.
Just like the whole day. We went out as an entourage at like the beginning of the day just to like see what was up, see where we were going, where we were supposed to be. And I stepped into the, what was it? The
Thor Pavilion.
Yeah, I walked in there and I've never been there or anything. And I was pretty blown away by the size and what was actually going on.
Like almost like the production of it was just like over the top.
I did not expect that. And on multiple different levels. And then performing there like late at night, everyone's feeling themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Smiling. Like, and it was masks. But like you could tell by the eyeballs.
It was
that people were beaming.
Yep. There was an event. This was a COVID-safe event, technically.
Yeah.
The people that were at the pavilion were sponsors, and they paid an expensive ticket to support the festival. Tell us about your performances that you did that day.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing to just hang out with my friends all day, and the settings that I got to perform in, like in the day, I was literally set up with a Jumbotron behind me and a crowd of cars in front of me, just like in a parking lot.
Yeah.
Which was sick. It was tight. And like honks instead of claps.
Yeah.
Like far more satisfying.
It is, yeah.
Walking in and to hang out with the people that I was about to perform in front of, and being able to drink a little bit, and then being able to perform with the lights, just in such a huge space with like my homies around me.
Mm-hmm. It was high energy at that point.
High energy, super, super smiles everywhere.
And this is the heartbeat of the city.
But yeah, definitely a moment. That was the last time I have performed live, and I'm holding on to that.
Yeah.
Definitely a good way to leave something off too.
Oh yeah.
And to start back up after that.
Mm-hmm. With all the challenges that we were faced that year, it was a big accomplishment for the city and all the musicians that were involved.
Yeah, super progressive.
So the music that you performed that day, what was it?
Senses, and Nate and I put all of those songs together over the course of the relationship. I mean, the last one that was released is not that old. Mm-hmm. But it still feels like a long time ago. But I'm holding those songs rather dear to me just because, like, not only does it define me in my first, like, actual
body of work.
Yeah. But it was with Nate. And, like, we started doing that stuff, like, quick into the relationship. And he has been, like, someone who offers fantastic advice and strategizing and coaching. And I've learned so much about technical things and technology in general. Like, this man blows my mind every day with sound technology. For a sec, I was just kind of letting him take the wheel. I'm able to keep up now.
Yeah.
I'm able to know what he's even talking about. The first, like, I swear to God, the first, like, 2.5 years of our relationship, I was just, like, looking at you, kind of enamored. And kind of suspicious because I didn't know if he knew what he was talking about. And I've trusted him the whole way, and look at where we are. So, would just listen to you and not even question anything that you're saying. I was just
hard to believe sometimes.
My gosh, he knows everything. I still am like that, but I can catch you a little bit more. Keep up, know what you're talking about. Doesn't really need further explanation all the time now.
I think you're always learning.
Mm-hmm. I gotta keep up. I was making a personal choice to kind of be away, be like with myself and do my own things on my terms. Mm-hmm. And I realized, like, oh wait, I'm like missing people to like learn from and to like gain perspective from. And it's not like stagnant in the way that I can't grow without other people, but you know, like
that time comes.
It for sure does. And like I was missing out on like the growth that I was receiving, even from like relationships that weren't the healthiest. I was still learning to an extent of how to like deal with a relationship. Mm-hmm. Coming back in, seeing my friends and everything again.
Yeah.
It's been kind of nice.
I think everyone does need that. And I think especially you, who has been at the center of creative thinking, exploration, you kind of take it all on. And also our studio is in our home for a whole year. And so you were faced with just musicians.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get a studio apartment after this. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to have all my time to myself. And I'm going to do all this stuff. I did it, and I loved it.
And then you were ready.
Ready to want to be around people again. Mm-hmm. Have I done that necessarily? Yeah.
I see it. Yeah.
It's just a choice I make every day. I like to have my environment completely controlled.
With us, it's a safe space. That's something that I think we've carried through our relationship.
Yeah. Definitely want to protect anyone who is in my presence, like instantly. I don't really care who you are. If you're the victim, I'm going to protect you. Mm-hmm.
You learn a lot.
Yeah, you got to give yourself limits and you got to enforce boundaries. That's a huge part of the past like year. Mm-hmm. Is like being able to step away and then look back and be like, why did I get stepped on? I never enforced a boundary. I never said I didn't like to be treated a certain way.
Mm-hmm. Right, and I think you can respectfully put boundaries up, and it makes it so much easier for someone else to respect you and you to return that back. We're always leveling up in our own way.
That's cute. We are, though. We've seen a lot together. We've done a lot together.
Yeah, before we were strangers.
I know, complete strangers. And I was just hanging out with Nate, and it was like from then on, that day on, coming on 4 years. It's going to happen quick. It's like
going
4
on
months
4
away.
years.
So
3 years feels good.
3 years feels like 1 year.
Yeah. And it's all
at this point.
It's all sequential with the milestones that we've had here at Daj. Can we reiterate words about your parents?
They have done so much as a team, like aged gracefully.
Yeah, these are two multifaceted humans that upkeep and maintain a beautiful property and a home that they built.
And I think about that a lot. Just the way I was raised, the morals and instincts that I have. They always knew. If something felt wrong, it was wrong, and stop doing that. Like, don't do it. And now I'm pretty
alert and aware.
Pretty alert, pretty aware. I'm on my toes the whole time. I have a substantial amount of anxiety. It is something that very much so makes me me. I don't want to count all that for my childhood, but like, I got what was coming to me.
Mm-hmm.
I always say that the problems that I have are purely like myself to blame for. And I love that. I love that I'm capable. I am accountable for my problems. Now, do I want to involve other people in my problems? No. I will handle them because they are mine. No one can have my problems.
Your philosophy in that is you like to focus in, find the source, and then deal with it yourself. And that's a strong attribute.
I never thought that it was, because I always thought I was lonely.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say shy, but I just felt like I kind of kept myself. And if I ever involved anyone else in my chaos, it would no longer be mine.
Yeah.
So many things about that are what I resonate with. Like, I don't.
Yeah, it's a fine line between being expressive and sharing your mind, being open, and then
so hard to do that when you're this age. I feel like learn how to balance
the two dynamics. Yeah,
especially when like you're around like younger people and older people, and they're carrying themselves very different ways, and it doesn't really like align with your communications.
That's a challenge.
Can you tell I've never been to therapy?
Yes, that's obvious. This is your first therapy session.
I know, it kind of feels like it. Just because like I never talk about myself that much. I know I'm gonna suffer listening to the sound of my own voice, but I have to do it because like if I'm gonna try and become this person who is comfortable, I have to put myself in situations where I'm not necessarily as comfortable. And again, it's purely me because like I know like this technology. I know the feeling of a headset on and a microphone in front of my face. I know you. Like
I see how you're narrowing it down.
I know this table very well. Like everything in this room so familiar, but the fact that like I'm embarking on something and kind of been watching it from like behind Nate's shoulder, and then actually doing it. It's just like exciting to the point where my mind and body want to quit.
Yeah.
And just lay on the floor and scream, but in like a good way.
Yeah, a lot of things can come out of that feeling.
Yeah. I'll transcend.
I would let you do that if you needed to.
All right, well, if you hear that, you know what's going on.
Can we talk about your...
I mean, your eyebrows.
Can we talk about your Content? So where is your content right now online?
It's pretty dope to have content,
Yep.
honestly. So all my music is on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and then...
What's your music name and what's your album name?
Yeah, Molee Senses. It's Molee, kind of a mixture of Emily that I've always kind of wanted. Senses, that first volume, awareness within myself, is me as fuck. And I've watched like my ideas and perceptions of every song and like loving it one day and absolutely like hating it for no reason, but then loving it again the next day.
That's fun.
I know it is fun because it's not like a love-hate relationship, but it's just like such a new way of like critiquing myself. I like to question myself a lot. I'm still comfortable with the music. I think the only thing that makes me feel uncomfortable is the fact that I'm always changing and I remember the person I was. But like, you can vouch for me. You've dated like 12 different Emilys every couple of weeks. So it's just weird to like put myself in a position where I was when I was writing these songs. Because it's just like almost someone I can't relate to.
Yeah.
Good and bad.
So through this self-reflection and this like inner thought, you reinvent yourself often.
Yeah.
Is that how you see it?
I used to look at it like I was reinventing, like I'm a new person all the time. And then my body kind of clung to that. And I literally had to wake up every day and remind myself of who I was and what I was doing and what my goals were. That was happening for a second because I was like confused and in a loop of like who I was, who I truly was, and what my goals were. But I haven't never been so in touch with myself. I know what I'm working towards every day. I know what I have to do certain things every day. Just trying to grow up into myself.
Yeah. Have you seen figures come to you and benefit come from that?
I see money all around me. A lot of driving forces for me are obviously going to be financial, but I'm looking for something that's going to make me happy.
Yeah.
Figures. I've had a lot more women want to work with me lately, and obviously, like we talked about, like that's not always something that I've had. Like I grew up in most of the time, like not really sure if people in general liked me. And then it was mostly like, I don't know if girls like me. And now it's like girls are hitting me up for music collabs and they want to jam and they want to make clothing and jewelry. And I've been cutting a lot of hair lately. So I can see like some key female friends coming through that have really helped me in my comfort. I've been inside. Lane, Nate, and I have a language that is unacceptable for any other person to understand. I'm a homebody, and I want to be in the place where I pay rent, you feel me?
Yeah.
And in that place especially.
Yeah.
So, like, the more people I can force to hang out with me in my crib,
Yeah.
and by my choice, and I can say who's gonna see all my shit and who's gonna get the Emily treatment, like,
Yeah.
and if you know me, like, you know, like, I got you with anything, literally, like, that's the best thing ever, is being able to provide a service. And that's my love language to other people, you know? So
It kind of connects to how you grew up, you know?
Yeah.
Gaining all these skills,
chores,
and seeing how that affects like a family and people.
doing the weirdest shit at the youngest age. Like, I have no reason to be doing some of this shit.
Like
But
what?
like hauling things and moving things and turning things on and off,
Going on the roof.
going on the roof, going in the attic, climbing all over the house. Because my dad, he can't fit where I fit.
Yep, that's it.
My fingers are much smaller than his. So I've been helping out just where like his hands won't fit. for the longest time. And it's just given me confidence to just like act on like things that are currently problems. Like, I'm not really scared to get my hands dirty. I'm not really scared to do that many things.
Yeah, and you can support your friends through that mindset.
Oh, for sure. I'm like, I want to say I'm the mom friend and the dad friend. Mm-hmm. Because I'll cook you a steak. And I'll also, like, I don't know.
Bro out.
I'll paint your nails and drink a beer. I'll fucking...
That's perfect. I'll paint your nails and drink a beer.
Yeah. And I've never really been able to draw the line between that until, like, I was in school. And it's not like I was painting nails and drinking beer when I was, like, before school age, but, like, let's be honest, I was.
Yeah.
And so I never really... Yeah. Family culture over everything, though, like, for real. Every time my cousins and I would gang up, I'd be like, damn, like, there's not really anyone like this around me, you know? Something about you.
Yeah.
You smell like blood. So
you went to go see Lily, your cousin, on New Year's.
My BFF.
How was it?
There's something magical about being able to take a quick flight and be somewhere for like 3 or 4 days and then come back.
Where were you?
I was in San Diego. More specifically in a place that I can't pronounce. Like, I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
But I got to see my family, and that just like reboots my entire system. Mm-hmm. And it only takes like 12 hours max.
Yeah.
Of just being around my people.
What was your New Year's celebration like?
I did Ring in the New Year. Silent disco style.
Yeah, where were you? What were you doing?
I don't know where I was or who I was with.
What did it look like?
Like a bunch of people in minimal clothes. It wasn't cold out or anything. It was
what was the vibe like inside?
Vibes. The guy had like a 48 set of silent disco headphones.
Yeah.
And we were all just like jamming out to the same channel. I've never really seen that before.
Yeah, did you have fun for New Year's Day?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I'm not someone who really abides by the whole holiday thing. I always think the holidays are kind of bunk. But it was pretty rewarding to be able to bring in a new year in a different place and then be able to come back and be like, I'm back, bitches.
Yep.
How was your new year? Mine was good. And I made it back. I always go out there. I've been out there twice, but like in the past like 6 months, and I'm always out there. I'm like, am I really going to come back?
Yeah.
Am I really?
Seems like a different life there.
Oh, 100%.
It's like you can choose between. It's like, do I stay in the West or do I go home?
Do I stay or do I go now?
Dajcast number 5 and McCoole and Rocco Daro come to you from Daj HQ, Main Street-Elkhart, Indiana. This is Daj Pyramid Show. Subscribe.
Smash it. Smash.
Subscribe.
It.
There are moments in life that transcend the everyday.
Fuck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wait. Get this
Are we
vibration. Done? Yeah. Thank you for being here. I had a really good conversation with you.
Can I get a gift?
Can you make it last forever?
I don't want to go to war.
I don't know if I'm going to see you again.
Can I get a... Can I... There are moments in life that transcend the everyday. Hotman Jewelers is here to make those moments sparkle.